Hello everyone and welcome back to the Anaheim Musketeers Sports Network, and today for you we have some trades, some injuries, a lot of injuries though unfortunately. So as you can see here right off the bat, just going right into it, we have Klay Thompson. After going up for a dunk, Thompson landed awkwardly, and unfortunately after an MRI there were reports of a dislocated patella. That was reported by Bob Panino. Now Klay Thompson, honestly one of the best three-point shooters of all time in my opinion, is going to be out for 4 to 6 months. I mean, guys, right now, as of this video in the Musketeers Sports Network, the date is February 12th. The All-Star game is coming up. So, unfortunately, I do not believe that Klay Thompson will be back for, I guess, any games during the playoffs. But I mean, hey, if the Warriors make it to the finals, conference finals, I think he might be back then. But until then, I just don't think it's happening. I really don't see it happening. I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah. Not only that, but this was a lesser injury. Stephen Curry sprained his ankle, and he will be out for the All-Star game that will be happening this Sunday. So yeah, that's tough. I'm sorry for Warrior fans, but hey, that means for the Anaheim Musketeers, we got a pretty good chance of, no we don't. We still can't beat the Warriors. I choose to just say, our record is looking terrible this year. As moving on, we have Marcus Aldridge. Of course, this is all being reported by Bob Panino, the greatest, and I mean the greatest, let's be honest here, the greatest analyst of all time. I mean, this guy has been everywhere getting us the news. And right here, Marcus Aldridge involved in car crash. Unfortunately, after MRI, reports are that the back injury was sustained. Now, we don't know what the back injury was, but it was a spinal injury. And this happened back in January. So, 2 to 4 months. It's still a devastating injury to a person his age. But honestly, just like DeMar DeRozan said, we're all just praying that he is okay. And he'll be back for the playoffs if the Spurs make it. Obviously, since there's 18 extra teams in each, 3 extra teams in each conference, 18 teams total in every conference, it's going to be kind of hard for these guys, the Spurs that is, to make it to the playoffs. There's so much more competition now. And now moving on to the final injury report. This is good. I mean there's been a lot more injuries, but I feel like these are the big three that happened during the league in the months of, I think it was December, January, and February. Yeah, this was the injury that happened in December. After colliding with Joel Embiid, Siakam left the floor, and the MRI displayed a broken left kneecap. That's nasty. Chris Bibby, the GM of the Raptors, has stated that we will handle Pascal's injury with great care. He's still a young player with a bright future ahead of him. Honestly, that's great. Pascal Siakam was having a pretty good season, nothing too special, but honestly, from what I've seen, he's 6'9", so that's a huge frame. So yeah, I'm not surprised that he didn't bump knees with someone eventually. But hey, I hope he can come back from this injury as strong as ever. But now we have some trades to acknowledge. All right, right off the bat, Dwight Howard and Gordon Hayward have both been traded for each other. Bob Panino was said again, back at it. Celtics acquired Dwight Howard to lose Gordon Hayward to fix depth problems and open more minutes for both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Now, Celtics are going to receive Dwight Howard and Austin Rivers. Hornets receive Gordon Hayward. Now, this is perfect for the Celtics, because now they can let they can let Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown really get their minutes. Austin Rivers, he's an eye at point guard. You already have Marcus Smart, but I guess you can move him to shooting guard, Kemba Walker, point guard, and Austin Rivers can be the good point guard that he is coming off the bench. And honestly, the Hornets, they're not going to be anything special. Michael Jordan as a GM, he's been making terrible decisions his entire career as a GM. As a player, he's the GOAT, but so far he got Gordon Hayward on, I think it was $15 million a year. It's just a waste of money. I don't know why he did it, and yeah. But honestly, Dwight Howard, this is his 8th team in 8 years. This is embarrassing for him at this point. But yeah, Gordon Hayward, after that horrendous injury with the Celtics, I hope that he can really find a new start and end his career nicely in Charlotte. But of course, he's like 33, 32 right now, so he can definitely get somewhere. I mean, I think he can get one more good contract before he has to go into retirement. So yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. But now moving on, Carmelo Anthony has been traded again. Now this is the 5th team he's headed to in 5 years. After Carmelo's revitalizing season with the Tornadoes, the Rockets look for him to make a return to Houston. Tornadoes are going to receive Eric Gordon, a shooting guard, and the the first round pick in the 2021 season. Yeah, I don't know why it was so hard for me to say. And they're going to swap it, the worst, with Miami. And the Rockets, simple, they receive Carmelo Anthony. Now, Carmelo Anthony, I mean, he was traded, he was cut from the Rockets, if you guys do remember. And which is why I don't know who for sure picked him up, but then that team who picked him up off from free agency traded him to the Tornadoes, who are now trading him back to the Rockets. And I mean, this is great for Carmelo Anthony. I mean, this guy has been through a lot. Of course, at the beginning of his career, he's gone through some things. I mean, actually, the beginning of the career was good. He went to the Western Conference Finals, battled against Kobe. There looked like there was going to be a lot of potential there. And then he was impatient and greedy, and throughout the middle of his career, he was just a ball hog, clogging up offenses. And unfortunately, he just really wasn't anything until now. I mean, now he's going to have a chance to win an NBA championship. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Carmelo Anthony, the three of them. Obviously, it's not a big three. Clint Capella, now you can call that a big three. And Carmelo Anthony is just like the supporting cast now. But yeah, also, I hope he can find some playoff time, do something in the playoffs. I mean, this is embarrassing. His career, and if you exclude the foreign achievements, such as the Olympics, the Olympics, if you exclude that, the dude's never won. He's not a winner. So, honestly, I hope he can win here. And yeah, Eric Gordon, I'm sorry, that dude has been sent to NBA Siberia. The Kansas City Tornadoes, what are you guys gonna do with Eric Gordon? Nothing. The dude's a shooter. Like, the Tornadoes have no chance of making the playoffs this season. They're not doing anything with Eric Gordon. I feel bad for that guy. He's made a lot of clutch threes. Not like Ray Allen or Klay Thompson or anything, but he's made important threes in important moments. He's like a Danny Green, but he just can't play that good of defense. But regardless, I'm not going to disrespect the dude. He's a role player. He does what he does. Now, moving on, and here we go. All right, Isaiah Thomas has been traded to the Trailblazers, and Bob Panino, of course, the one and only. Pelicans are going to look for floor spacing in Myers Leonard, and they trade Isaiah Thomas to what will be his 6th team in 5 years. Now, if you might say 6th team in 5 years. How's that even possible? Okay, he got traded from the Celtics to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he got traded from the Cavs to the Lakers, and then he didn't get traded, but he got cut, or he didn't re-sign with the Lakers, so then that's how that happened. All right, so now moving on, the Pelicans, they're going to receive Myers Leonard, a 2022 first rounder, and a top 10 protected pick. So yeah, honestly, I'm sorry. They're going to get a 2022 first rounder with that is top 10 protected. And I feel like that's really good for the Pelicans. You got Lonzo Ball, Zion Williamson, and I feel like with those guys running the offense, you really need floor spacing. And if you don't have any floor spacing, and Zion, who can do this, I mean, if you're going to force him to dunk over 2 guys, that's pretty tough. I don't think that his body's going to sustain itself that long while he's dunking on 2 people, but, you just don't want it to happen. But honestly, if you're the Trailblazers, you get Isaiah Thomas. Now you have a backup for Damian Lillard. And honestly, Isaiah Thomas, a fall from grace, obviously an amazing player with the Celtics. But with what has happened here, it seems like he's really just, I don't know. I mean, like, people say that Isaiah Thomas is still a good player, but if he was still Celtics Thomas, he just needs a chance. If he was really that good, then his shooting percentages would be better. Unfortunately, he's small. He got a hip injury, and that's what happened here. So yeah, he's gonna be having a relatively rough time for the rest of his NBA career. He's not gonna be getting paid, and that's just really unfortunate. I feel really bad, but it is what it is. Now, here we go into the final trade. Okay, but yeah, just to be sure, so the Pelicans definitely won this trade in my opinion. They did get more floor spacing, and I feel with Lonzo and Zion on the floor, that's going to be very, very important. Now, final trade of the day, and this is the final segment that we will be covering in the Anaheim Musketeers Sports Network. And today, as you can see here, the Musketeers look to rebuild through the draft. As it is true, the Hawks look for floor spacing as they acquire sharpshooter Luke Kennard. And the Hawks will receive, basically Luke Kennard, a shooting guard, and the Musketeers are going to receive a 2022 first-round pick from the Thunder, a 23 first-round pick, top 3 protected. And honestly, this is the reason why. I mean, it's obvious. The Musketeers, after having a pretty terrible season, looking to fire their coach this season as well. I mean, they said that basically they're gonna tank. Like Barry Williamson said, he was never gonna tank. I don't think they're having the tanking mentality, but what they're doing right now is that they are basically saying we're gonna try to win, but we're gonna make sure it's literally impossible. And yeah, with Luke Kennard gone, I feel like a lot of players are gonna be getting more time to shine, more time to prove themselves. I think stay on the team. But other than that, this is a really negative trade for the Musketeers. I feel like they're going to be able to really drop down in the NBA draft. I feel like they're going to be developing their future. But for this season, this basically confirms it. The Musketeers are done for this season. They're just going to be playing and most likely, quote unquote, tanking. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, or leave a comment. But yeah, other than that, thank you all for watching, and goodbye.